Joining us on this panel are Prem Kumar Vislawat, founder of Maru Drones, Shalini Sharma, founder of Sanshodhan and e-waste exchange, and Giles Barker, CEO of KisanHub.com. Thank you so much, all of you all, for joining us. Just to start off, uh, sustainability itself has a few constraints, and it can actually, on the other hand, serve as an impetus for companies to really think out of the box, think innovatively. What really inspired all three of you to really think differently? What is the problem that you set out to solve? Shalini, if you can start, because Sanshodhan focuses on ESG impact as well. What is it that you think was that you wanted to solve first?
So it all started somewhere in 2018 when I was struggling with just disposing the electronic recyclable resources. And before that, I was studying at Oxford. I was at Columbia University, and always very much impressed with the cleanliness, the organized way the cities are in, like US and Europe. So when after coming back to India, when I was looking that there are recyclable resources that need to be disposed, but there is no facility as such for where we can ensure the recycling. In 2018, along with the government of Telangana, I launched an e-waste exchange, tech-based model for businesses and citizens to channelize their electronic waste directly to the recyclers. So this model was continuing and was serving the citizens and businesses. We also realized in 2021 somewhere that recyclers are not very open for taking the recyclable resources from the citizens, and mostly the businesses are busy with their policy compliances. So in January 2022, we have also launched special wing completely focusing on ESG impact assessment and reporting. That is a B2B service. So now we are also dealing with the businesses directly B2B, and then with the society, helping them for channelizing their electronic waste for the recycling.
Right, Prem, if you can help us really with the problems that Maru Drones is solving when it comes to afforestation, agriculture, using drones in agriculture in a sustainable way. Tech is really contributing to agriculture and other world problems that we have at this point. Come to you, what was the sort of innovation that you thought would be really helpful for farming in India?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Priyanka. So there's been some really interesting discussions already today, and I'd like to pick up on a few of those points. So we started with the grower in mind, and I think that's fundamental to everything you need to do, because the grower is the one who is contributing to the food.
Shalini, in such a scenario, how do you think social innovation can attain scale? Like Giles spoke about collaboration. What really can be the way forward to ensure that the efforts that are being put, the sort of innovation that is being done, can reach a certain scale and have a larger impact?
I think definitely collaboration add quite a lot to these startups, because the startups are generally very limited, having very limited resources, and they are looking for scaling up. Our startup is really for the urban habitats, and which we see that there are many other who are coming into this space. The collaboration will help, say, leveraging the resources and increasing our impact in different geographies and in a smaller time period. So that's how I think collaboration is really very important. Moreover, what we are doing into the electronic waste management space is in really near future it will be required for the automobile, for textile sector, for plastics. It's already going on. So collaboration and going hand in hand will really be very helpful for the startups to grow with the little resources and making the larger environmental and social impact.
Prem, would you like to come in here on this?
Definitely. If you see the drone space in last 1 year, a lot of tremendous changes has happened, and more of research community, that all the academia, if have not come forward, I don't think the adoption would have been in the practical.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, really. So you get the education right, the companies start coming in, and then the investment follows, and then obviously that attracts more funding and more companies, and then it goes on. And I think that flywheel is really important to get right. And I think you can see states and governments which have got that right, and that has kind of tremendously helped them.
Shalini, Giles has covered the part where you talk about the collaboration needed from the government when it comes to farming, agriculture. But when you're looking at like at a bigger issue, cities, waste management, how effective and important it is for the government to also step up to ensure that the efforts that are being put really show some impact.
Right. I think for the waste management space, it's kind of very unique space because the government has a bigger role to play. And when it comes to the waste management, society also looks to the government, not really a private company or the startup to really serving them. So what happened is that being a part of the or the partner to the state government of Telangana, that has given us quite a space to operate since February 2018. And the Telangana government was the first one a subnational government who launched the electronic waste management policy at the state level, and that was somewhere in September 2017. But many times it happens that the state governments or anybody in any government who is launching the policies should also come up with the plan for its implementation. They should bring the blueprint for its implementation. Say for example, the government can implement this e-waste management policy or plastic waste management policy into the levels. So if you see the models for the society model, B2B waste management model, the model for the government and PSUs is entirely different. So I think blueprint for managing the waste at all these level, one is society, one is government and PSUs, then third is B2B, is need to be really prepared and implemented, where the waste management, even I will not say waste management, I'll say it as a recyclable resource management services, should be designed in such a manner that it should be targeted towards the segment for which it is made. Secondly, you asked about the role of PSUs. I think PSUs and even large companies, they are having the budget of around 2% of their profits that they need to spend for CSR. So in CSR, they can do quite a lot into the waste management space. Say, for example, they can collaborate with the municipalities where we are providing one waste management model that is called a sand bin. And Sandbin is we worked with some of the IT industries where they wanted to put customized, beautiful electronic waste disposal bins into their premises, and they also wanted it to be so beautiful that their employees and their employee colony should be using that. So we prepared that and put and set up a complete system for those companies to channelize their waste to the recyclers and then account it, that how much resource recovery they have really received or achieved. So this model is quite a hit, and it can be very useful for the government offices, PSUs, the IT companies, and even the large apartments and the colonies. One more point I would like
Right.
to add is on the collaboration, where we have launched the International Alliance on Circular Economy and Sustainable Development Goals, where we are coming up with the verticals. Two verticals are already established. One is Circular Electronic Alliance that you can also see on our website sustainabilityexchange.com, and another is Circular Textile Alliance. That is a wing under International Alliance on Circular Economy and SDGs, where we are having 140 companies, government officials, even the political leaders who are leading it as a mentor, as a patron, and as a guide for us. So this is how we are
Right.
working together with the industries, with the government, with the political mentors, and also with the companies. We are having some PSU partners also who are, and even the government organizations who want
Yeah.
us to be on the gem to serve the government departments. So this is overall
Right.
platform where we are in for, yeah, actually.
Right, Shalini has pointed out, all of you all have benefited from the friendly policies of the Telangana government. But is there any room for improvement? Giles and Prem, if you all can come in for this one last question.
Definitely, there is a improvement is because the new technology is coming. It there is a number. The boost has to be to the innovators and technology by giving you some financial assistance more on the R&D point of view. Because whenever there is something new comes, there is a lot of R&D goes to the at a startup levels and everything. Second is when a user wait and everything. But startups, they spend a lot of time, energy, and create the talent, and suddenly the corporates are easy for them to pick up from these startup companies. Post COVID, the huge difference
Right.
we are seeing is the talent of which is in startups are moving to the big companies, and there's a continuous problem is going to happening kind of a thing. So that's the government should help us in more of a giving some incentives to the startups whenever they're trying to set up in at least in Telangana on kind of a thing. So and when we are raising funds also, the lot of investors have a lot of the challenges is because of the Hyderabad and because of the new technology, a lot of the
Yeah.
incentives are little more coming forward towards and speaking and awareness about it makes a huge difference for the startup companies like us.
Correct. Giles, anything you would like to add?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate some of the points that's been made by Prem there. I think, in particular, we have an organisation in the UK as well, and we've seen some of the fantastic kind of tax and breaks incentives that they apply to startup companies around kind of R&D tax credits. So every time you do some innovative work and you spend money in terms of engineering time or resources or data feeds, the UK government will help support that through kind of R&D tax credits, which is fantastic incentive to help promote kind of productivity and entrepreneurship in particular segments. Along with that, I kind of completely agree around investment. Another thing we've seen that's worked really well in the UK is for early stage investors, they get kind of tax breaks if they invest in certain companies of a certain size. They get tax break off their annual tax bill. And I think those kind of things can really help kind of accelerate the innovation, which is already happening. You know, you can see here that there's loads of innovation around on this call, but if you can start accelerating that through helping through investment to kind of invest into innovation and new ideas, which is already happening. You know, you can see here that there's loads of innovation around on this call, but if you can start accelerating that through helping through investment, also helping through making it more effective to kind of invest into innovation and new ideas and new concepts, and then that
begin with you, Jayesh Ranjan. SDGs, as we keep talking about, it's about having a fresh perspective and innovation. And Telangana increasingly is becoming a state where innovation has taken up a new form.
Yes, Maria. First of all, thank you very much for putting together this show and inviting us to share our state's perspectives. You are absolutely correct that in the last 8 years of its existence, Telangana has been creating ripples in the world of innovation, things which people would talk about only for the Silicon Valley, etc., are now also spoken in the same breath in our country. And the reference point is of Telangana, is of Hyderabad, how we have succeeded in creating world-class institutions like the T-Hub, the V-Hub, T-Works, Task, and so on and so forth. But the whole purpose of this breadth of institutions is to create a culture of innovation. But the specific answer to what you have asked very directly is that we want innovation to be targeted to solve some of the most pressing pain points of the people. See, innovation for innovation's sake, innovation for valuation's sake, innovation for commercial benefit are also fine. It's not that I'm looking down upon them. But in our state, there is a very clear prioritization that kind of innovation, which helps the lives of the common people become better.
When we look at partnerships, here public, private and social sector, partnership and involvement of all these sectors become crucial. How important do you see that partnership here?
No, absolutely. So my colleague, the T-Hub CEO, is also in the panel, and I'm sure you'll also ask questions to him. But I can give the example of T-Hub itself. So while the government has played the fundamental role in visualizing an institution like the T-Hub, putting money where our mouth is in building the beautiful facility of T-Hub, but the entire operations of T-Hub are run in a PPP mode. And there is one other critical element of the partnership, which is the academia. So, for example, when people talk about Silicon Valley, if you go back in time and look at the early days of Silicon Valley, the real impetus came from institutions like the University of Stanford, the University of Berkeley, we have more or less emulated the same model. So ISB, Triple IT Hyderabad, Nalsar Hyderabad, these are the founding institutions of T-Hub. We also have brought in lots of corporate partners. In fact, there are more than 3 dozen corporates who participate in innovation programs. They tell us about their pain points, their challenges, which we try to solve or co-create along with the corporates using T-Hub as a medium. And after a while, after T-Hub was well established, we have created another institution which looks at innovation which is happening at the grassroots. In fact, when we speak about the problem of the common people, we also notice, particularly in our state of Telangana, that there are lots of locally available solutions, which conventionally we tend to look down upon, saying that